Yo, if you didn't know any better, you'd think this was a throwback episode of Around the Horn.
There it is.
We are now pleased to be joined, another brother from another, J.A. Adande, the esteemed director of sports journalism for the Medill School at Northwestern University. Kind enough to take time out, bro. Thanks for falling through on the first day of class. So the professor taking a break from work to chop it up with us, man. So we figured we're talking about the Big Ten, right, Mike? Who better to go to than somebody who's literally in the Big Ten and bleeds Northwestern?
That's right. You know, J.A., I know as a professor, you want the students to ask some questions. Hey, talk back to me. So I'm going to ask you a question, Professor. You know, this news breaks today that the season is going to start in October 24th specifically. You know, what do you make of this? Because it is a big-time reversal from what we heard in August. Do you think this is this a good thing?
Yeah, well, one thing, you know, you have to allow for the changes in the technology, right? As you know, this is a fluid situation, and it's different in different parts of the country. But sorry, my phone having technical issues here.
Sorry.
But you know, so things have changed, and I do think it is a response to the pressure and to the negative response that they got from that initial statement. I do think there's balance. My main concern is that, for example, at Northwestern University, freshmen and sophomores are not allowed on campus. So if half the undergraduate population it's not deemed safe for them to be on campus, how can you consider it safe for the football team to gather and practice? And I understand they're going to be tested at a higher level and probably with much greater frequency than the rest of the student body population. But if that's the case, you know, how do you explain to the rest of the students who are paying their hard-earned money for tuition why the football player can get some of the full benefits of their college experience while the rest of the student body can't? I have major issues with that.
One of your fellow Northwestern alums, Christine Brennan, in USA Today, wrote about how she called it the darkest day in Big Ten history because the Big Ten pretty much caved to the pressure that we've been talking about. Anyone could argue if the Big Ten has experienced worse, but nonetheless, she was just really disappointed that the Big Ten, contrary to its reputation and history and brand, was not showing leadership or was rather following the crowd in this context. I wonder, it's your first day back, you obviously plugged into all things Big Ten, but specifically, how is it playing within the Northwestern community? Like, what are some of the administrators saying? Some of the non-football or non-athletic department power brokers, if you will, how are they all processing this?
It is a little different because we're not on, you know, my building isn't open. So we're not communing to have these discussions. So that's one of the ways it's different. But I'll just say, yes, you know, the fact that we're not all in our campus buildings while, you know, the football office, the new $300 million football facility is going to be occupied. You know, that shows how the parties are skewed. And you know, I have to watch what I say, that our president of the university is the leader of this Big Ten Council that's been making the decisions. You know, and so he's much more better informed than any of us are. He's heard all the latest. He's got the medical details. I understand that. And I understand the basis of this decision. I think they've explained it better than they're giving credit for. But I think we need to acknowledge why this is happening. This is something that is taking place because of the financial implications. You know, I've heard the numbers that we stand to lose. I'm not sure I'm at liberty to disclose the exact numbers that I've heard, but you know, it's obviously multiple millions of dollars. And so I think we need to acknowledge why this is the reason that this is taking place. And the problem is, to do so gets you into a whole other discussion about fair compensation of college athletes.
Yes.
And I think going down this door is taking college sports, the NCAA, to places it's really not comfortable having these discussions and not having a resolution to this before they go forward. They're going to go ahead and play before they resolve some of the longstanding issues that should be addressed here.
Well, you know what, J.A., I'm not going to ask you to disclose those numbers that you have and we don't, but just reading from a Forbes article in 2019, just for example. So Big Ten gets a $66 million base payout, $6 million that year for Ohio State's semifinal berth in the Fiesta Bowl, $4 million for Penn State's berth in the Cotton Bowl, and $40 million for Wisconsin's berth in the Rose Bowl. So, I mean, that's a lot of, I mean, look at those numbers. Those numbers stack up. So it clearly is about the money. And as I said, I can't judge you for making financial decisions. We all make financial decisions to a degree. Look, I mean, that's just the reality of it. But I'm just saying, let's be upfront about it. You said one of your concerns, though, is that the college football players are getting some privileges that the rest of the student body is not. Are there any other concerns with this decision that jump out at you?
Yeah, just the fact that we don't know the long-term effects of catching the disease, even if you're asymptomatic, even if you're not hospitalized directly as a result, we don't know, the long-term impact this is going to have on people's lungs and hearts, which are the two main areas. But, the nervous system, like this is a brutal virus. It can affect your brain functions as well, which you would think, for college students would be of utmost priority as well. So, the fact that we don't know what the long-term impact could be on this. We don't know, for example, will they be covered? What's the liability for universities? Has that been established? Are they indemnified for any future potential lawsuits that could occur as a result of this? Is the conference indemnified? I'm not sure every single question has been addressed. Initially, my concern was that we were asking students or athletes to take greater risks than the rest of the student body by asking them to play. I think now they've gotten to the point where they can actually maybe make the college athletes safer than the rest of the student body. But again, I don't think they should be safer. I don't think they should be subjected to any greater risk than the rest of the student body. And I like erring on the side of caution, Mike. I'm like, you say you're going to be the last one to get the vaccine. You're going to be the second to last because I'm going to be the last one. I'm someone, I don't even like to get the latest when they update the software on your phone. I wait till like version 0.2 or 0.3, right? I don't even like the first to get the software update on the phone. So I'm not going to be the first to get what will certainly be the fastest vaccine ever brought to market. I'm not trying to be that guy.
I wake up every morning to an update and I decline it. I'm like, nope, tell me tomorrow. Or I'm with you.
Same Give me the 0.3 or 0.4. I'll feel better.
Yeah, and again, not just the. Oh, I'm sorry, Mike. I was gonna say not just that they aren't that they might be given privileges that the rest of the student body isn't getting. They're not in a bubble either in a lot of cases. Like how many campuses will you be able to keep them separate from the rest of the student body so as not to be exposed to all these outbreaks?